Hello there guys, and welcome to our third building our own website tutorial here. In this tutorial, as we did before in the previous tutorial, if you guys don't remember, we worked on this base.css file, and in today's tutorial we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the parent container and the container. To do that, let's go ahead and go inside our index.html. Let's go ahead and get rid of this, or let's not get rid of this, let's just have it. And first of all, what we need to do is we need to include, so we're going to learn a new tag called link, and we're going to type rel equals style sheet. Make sure you spell that right, style sheet. And then we're going to do href, so we want to reference, for me it's going to be css base.css, and CSS is the folder where my CSS file is in. So I'm referring to this particular CSS file. And then type, we want to tell it that this is going to be a CSS file, and to do that we just type text /CSS, and then we go ahead and put the end tag here. Alright, so what we did here is basically we are calling our CSS, our base.css file within our HTML, so we can apply the styling that we defined in here. Alright, next what we want to do is inside our body here, I'm going to go ahead and create a div, and I'm going to set the ID as parent container, and let me put the end tag down here. As you might notice, parent container, I gave it ID parent container because parent container is we define the style for the parent container here, and then within this parent container I'm going to have another inner div, and I'm going to give it an ID of container, and I'm going to put the end tag there. Alright, so what are we doing here? Well, in order for us to apply the CSS style, the CSS file, we are telling it, so how do we know which or where do we want to, or like which object or which component do we want to apply that particular style? We use the IDs here. So for my div here, I give it the ID of parent container, and my inner div, I give it the ID of container, which I define the styling within the CSS file here. And what are the divs? So the divs are basically sections or like parts. So using divs we can divide the screen into multiple sections and place items in in the exact or only places that we want to. So we can divide the screen into multiple smaller rectangles or squares or so on. So that's what the divs are just sections, are subsections within our screen. So our div here, our parent container will be the main container, which would be as we defined here, the width will be 100%, so it will take for the full screen, and the container here will be a child container. And let's go ahead and define here. Let's make our container here, let's make it a little bit smaller. So let's make our container 765 pixels, or sorry, 985. I'll make it 985. So this will be the size of our container, and I want the background to be white, and the background for the parent container I want it to be yellow. So let's go ahead and run this, and let's see what we will notice here, if the style will be applied or not. Alright, so we don't see anything applied, and the reason of that is because within here we do not have anything within our container, and the height of our container here, we don't have a height set. So let's go ahead and set the height to auto, and I will do the same thing for the container. I will set the height to be auto, and what will this do? This will automatically adjust the height as long as we so let's say we copy these 5 headers and we include those within our container. So now the height will be automatically adjusted to fit this 5 headers, and it will apply the style, the background styles of this header. So let's go ahead and run it now and see if the effect actually did take was applied. So as you see here, the reason that you see this being white, so you see this white part and then the yellow, the reason is because the yellow is the full screen, and then the size of our container is 985, and it starts from the left. So that's why you see the yellow on the right side and nothing on the left, because that's our container, which is on top, which is a layer on top of our parent container, which, as you might see from our CSS, we set that to be white. So in order for us to see both sides yellow, we can just simply move this container. So let's set margin here, and so using margin we can move it right or left, and I'm going to type 0 pix and auto, and what this will do is this will center our container. So it will center our container in the center of the screen. So let's go back to our page here and refresh it, and as you see here, our container gets centered, and you see yellow. So you see our background, our parent container, which is yellow, and our container, which is white, and you see the height is automatically adjusted to fit the 5 headers that we included within that container here in our HTML. Alright guys, so in this tutorial we talked about how to link the CSS file within the HTML and apply the styles to our HTML containers. In our next tutorial we're going to go ahead and talk about actually starting working on our website, so basically creating our navigation menu. So that will be our next tutorial, starting on our navigation menu. So thank you for watching this tutorial guys. I hope you liked it. If you didn't watch the previous tutorials or my other tutorials, please watch those, and don't forget to subscribe guys. Again, it means a lot. So if you have any questions, leave comments, and don't forget to subscribe. And thank you for watching once again.